The drug Phenergen was distributed by Weth Drug Manufacturing Company to help prevent allergies and nausea. Phenergen was approved by FDA in 1998.
My health physician had assured me that Phenergen was safe and would be the closest thing to a cure for my nausea and motion sickness.
But on April 7, 2000, a woman's health was on the line after being injected with this drug.
But days later, I started to experience a tremendous amount of pain in my arm. It was unbearable.
Diana Levine, a resident of the state of Vermont, was suffering from a migraine and nausea.
I was just confused how a drug that was supposed to help my nausea ended up taking part of my arm.
The drug entered Diana's artery and she developed a serious infection. Doctors were forced to amputate first her right hand and later her entire forearm.
Because of the lack of warnings on the label of Phenergen, it cost me not just my arm, but one of the most important parts of who I was, a professional musician. And it is devastating having something you're so passionate about and love to do every day of your life just taken away from you, just like that.
Her health clinic gave her intramuscular injections of Phenergen to relieve her pain, but it ended up causing more harm than good.
I just could not sleep at night knowing this could happen to someone else. I needed to make sure I took a stand for the public who's often silenced by these big drug companies when seeking justice.
So when your companies are labeling their drugs before distribution, think about the consequences your company could face. You hold the power to provide more warnings on labels. In any case, isn't it improving people's health the reason you are all here today? The FDA provides ground regulation that drug manufacturing companies must abide to when it comes to how many warnings are necessary on a drug label. It was understood in this case that the drug in question did meet the minimum amount of warnings necessary. But in the state of Vermont, drug companies are allowed to provide more warnings if necessary. And in this case, the Supreme Court did find Weth guilty because they could have provided more warnings on this certain drug label, which could have prevented Mrs. Levine's amputation.